That brings us to NBC News analyst Clint van Zandt. He was one of the FBI profilers who worked on the Unabomber case. Clint, good morning to you. And I mean, not to put you on the spot, but we do have some information already about who this suspect or suspects are. What's the profile that you're kind of building in your mind?
Well, you know, the question right now is, are these bombs real or are they simply made to look real? You know, it's hard to imagine somebody could build 9 devices and we're told they have timing devices on them. 9 times they went out there and we didn't get an explosive. We're glad that didn't happen, but does that suggest this bomber doesn't know what he's doing, or is he simply trying to send a message? Is this just a shot across the bow of America for some political or personal reason? We're still trying to understand that. But one of the things we've got going for us in New York, for example, there are 13,000 government and private business cameras out there. The average New Yorker gets his or her picture taken 100, 200 times a day. So they're going to be looking hard at those cameras, pictures, as well as all this treasure trove of forensic evidence. Because none of these bombs went off, we have the complete device and every forensic string that's attached to them to look at this time.
Clint, these bombs went to prominent Democrats. It leads some to conclude, well, that must have come from someone from the other political party. Others are saying, no, this thing may just be a head fake. What's your take on it?
Well, I think that's a good term, head fake, and it's something that the FBI, ATF, and other agencies don't want to get faked out. That's why you do a 2-track investigation, just like a set of railroad tracks, where one track says, okay, it's likely a person who's reflective of one political belief, or the other track says it's likely somebody on the other side trying to do a head fake. So the authorities will be looking at blogs, they'll be looking at letters that have been written to the recipients. This is not a person who just woke up 3 days ago and said, I think I'll build at least 9 bombs and send them out. This guy has had, or this person has had time to plan this. The question now is, was he so good that he was able to put all the components in but not hook them together so the bombs didn't go off to send a message? Or is this person so inept that they could build so many bombs and not do it? But remember, as you've discussed, we've got these other signs. We've got, notwithstanding all the stamps on the envelope, we've got this message that's contained inside. We've got this quote. It's almost like this individual is just trying to taunt us by doing this. He's got his 15 minutes of fame. If you got a message, step up and tell us what it is.
All right, Clint, always good to get your perspective. Times like these, thank you.
Thank you, Clint.